As long as there have been people on Earth, there's been hunter-gatherers, and today we're going to summon our inner ancestors and learn how to farm in Valheim. What's up guys, Marty here with another Valheim video. So I did promise a full food and farming guide in the last video, and here we are. I'm going to break this video into 4 sections, so feel free to jump to whatever you want to see. I'm going to timestamp it below, and it's going to be in the following sections. How do food systems work, and how do they impact your health and stamina? How do you plant and harvest an infinite amount of vegetables? How do you tame and breed boars for meat? How do you create a passive source of honey for mead? And then I'm also going to touch on what you can create with your farmed food. So farming may seem like a chore when you really want to be sailing the oceans and slaying your enemies, but to do that you're going to need health, and you're going to need a lot of it. Your max health will increase the better food you eat, and so will your stamina. And as you start to fight some of the tougher enemies and the bosses, you're really going to need to get this as high as possible. You can only eat 3 items of food at a time, and if you're eating berries and just cooked meat, you're going to struggle to get past like 70 health, and you're going to be eating constantly as well. So here's how it works. A berry that you pick up will increase your max health by around 10 and your max stamina by 20. And it'll heal you for 1 health per tick, and it'll only last for 10 minutes. So it's not a very good long-term solution, late game especially. Something like carrot soup, which we're going to make in this video though, this will increase your health by 20 and your stamina by 60, so it's much better. And it's really not that difficult to do once you've got the system in place to make them constantly. Moving up to something more kind of swamp game level, like just after the second boss, you can make sausages. These are going to increase your health by 60 and your stamina by 40, but they'll heal you by 3 health per tick, and they last like 25 minutes. So realistically, with a base health of 25, I've pushed my health over 150 with a good selection of food, and it's really not that challenging. You can do it all in bulk and then just have a box full of high quality food. So for these big food items in the game, you're going to want a sustainable, renewable source of food that you don't have to hunt all the time. So let's go over it now. First up with farming. So to farm, you need to make the cultivator tool, which means you'll need to have killed the first boss, unlocked mining, and have built the forge. So the cultivator tool just requires core wood and bronze. If you're missing the core wood, they come from the big pine trees in the Black Forest, and the bronze, you just smelt tin and copper together. Now, if you run around the Black Forest, you'll find these little white plants on the ground. They're the carrot seeds, so pick these up. You might have also run into turnip seeds or some other variation. I just use carrots in my game. That's pretty much the only thing I need. So once you've got some, or whatever seed you have, go outside, find a piece of level ground, or level it with the hoe until you're happy with it. Get the cultivator out and turn the soil. And then right click, select the seeds you want, and just start planting. Make sure you keep them spaced out around the size of like 1 floor tile apart is probably best, because if they're too close together, they won't grow. I'll show you what happens when you put them too close together. Another area you can have is if they don't get sunlight. So if you're putting them somewhere that's not open, they're not going to work. And the beauty is here, if you wait, it's around 3 to 4 days, I think. Once they grow, you'll turn 1 seed into 1 carrot. But then you can just right click your cultivator tool and replant the carrot. If you replant the carrot, it will create multiple seeds. So what I would do is, say you have 10 carrot seeds, grow 10 carrots and then plant those 10 carrots straight back in, and you're going to have 30, 40 carrot seeds. And then you can replant them, and you can just keep rolling this until you have a chest full of carrots. It's really that simple. And once you've done it, you just wait 4 days. So it's not like you have to go out and war it. There's no real work here. So fence that all off, because you want to keep the troublemakers out. And that really is it. That is how you make food constantly. It really is that easy. It's just not explained that well. But yeah, hopefully, if anything doesn't make sense, let me know. So once you've got food tied down, it's good to have a constant supply of meat. And the best way to do that is to tame boars. So find a couple of boars, set a little fenced area or a little caged area ready, and lead them into that area near your base. I use fences because they're just cheap and easy, and they're easy to break down. Lead them in, place the final piece, trap them, jump out. They're going to be angry and they're going to attack your fence, but they don't do a great deal of damage. And they only attack when you're nearby. So if you leave the area, that's fine. They're not going to keep attacking your fence. So to tame them, you want to feed them. And they can eat both types of berries, carrots, and mushrooms. So throw some in, just sling them out your inventory one at a time, like shift click the bunch to select one individual one, and then just throw it over the fence. Get high ground and throw it, or just stand next to it and throw it. I mean, some people would suggest throwing 1 in a day. I just throw a chunk, like 10 items in and then leave. Leave, come back the next day, and they'll start taking a liking to you. I skipped the next day here. I kind of went to sleep, got the next day, and they'd ate some of the food, and they had like a 20% acceptance level. So they kind of were more warmed up to us. And then if you leave that again, I think it's like 3 to 4 days. So I'm going to skip ahead here to kind of 4 days in. I just kept chucking 3 or 4 items in every day. And yeah, the 4th day you go over and they don't attack you. They're showing tame, 100%. You can then jump in the pen and you can pet them. How cool is that? And that's it. You now have, you know, livestock. And you can also see here the beauty of this. They've had 3 babies, which means 3 more pieces of meat, really. Not only that, but they'll grow up and they'll breed again. I would recommend, now that they're tame, they're not going to try and attack you. So try and expand your pen as you get a larger selection of them. You might also want to kill a few of them every now and again to get the meat. Or if you want to keep the levels low because you can't afford to keep feeding them. But you should have a sustainable carrot farm, so you can just keep throwing the carrots in. And that's it. Now you've got carrots and meat on tap. It really is that easy. The only other thing I would try and create a sustainable source of is honey. You're going to need a ton of mead in this game. And to do that, it's 10 honey per mead, which is a hell of a lot in my opinion, because honey is not easy to come by. So what you want to do is you want to find these small destroyed buildings in the forest, and there's a small chance there'll be a bee's nest in the corner. Shoot it with an arrow. The bees will attack you for a little bit of damage, but it's not much. And there's a chance that they'll drop a queen bee. For me, it's been like 50-50 chance. I might be lucky or unlucky, I don't know with that. And then you just build with the queen bee in your inventory, a beehive. And I think every day you get like 1 honey. So it really isn't a lot. It's going to take a while, and you're going to want a few of these. In my game at the minute, I've got 2, and I really want to go out and find some more because I want like 5 or 6 of these to be able to make the amount of meat I want. It's the one thing that's slowing me down. So I'd recommend getting on this early. If you ever see a beehive, you know, try and get a queen bee out of it. And lastly, I just want to quickly touch on the cooking in the game. So you want to make a cauldron, which requires a forge and some tin. And again, you'll need to be in the first boss for this. Honey will be used to make all your mead potions, but for food, you can make carrot soup. Once you get into the swamp and kill some of the mobs there, you could use the meat for some advanced meals. I personally like to make sausages. If you find turnips, there's the turnip meal as well you can make. It might seem like a lot of work, but if I was just to eat what I have on me, like some carrot soup, sausages, and then a piece of cooked meat, it easily puts me over 130 HP and a ton of stamina. Once you set the system up, it's really not that much work. So yeah, hopefully this video helped. I've tried to cover a lot of stuff and I've gone through it all quite quickly. Any questions, just drop them in the comments and I will try my best to answer them. If this has helped, drop a like on the video. And if you like this type of video, please subscribe to the channel as I cover medieval, fantasy and survival games on a regular basis, and subscribing is the best way to see them when they're out. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching the video, and if you stuck around till the end, I really appreciate you. Keep enjoying Valheim, and I will catch you in the next one.